Hi everyone, this is Vegas, and I want to just go through Elon's pay package. That is the talk of the town, and everyone's going to be watching this stock tomorrow because obviously tomorrow's the big day. So I just want to explain what's involved and how this pay package works because a lot of people have been asking questions and they just want a clarity on how this process goes. So I'm just going to take you through it really quick. So obviously you guys know he's a CEO of Tesla. And this pay package, it's really more like a giant bonus. It's not regular salary, as you can see. It's going to be like extra shares in Tesla, more pieces of the company that he will get over time if Tesla does really well over the next 10 years. And this new plan could be worth over $1 trillion, up to $1 trillion if all the goals are hit. This will make him the first trillionaire. And that is an incredible package. The other thing, too, I just want to show you this video here from Bloomberg with regards to Elon. So let's take a look at that and see what they say. Here we go.
You are indeed the founder, managing partner. Steve, I'm really interested as to some of these milestones. Yes, it's about market capitalization, which is extraordinary. But to get 20 million cars on the road, to get 10 million of those with FSD, to get 1 million robots, 1 million robo-taxis, is that realistic?
Well, I think that's going to be awfully hard for Tesla to do. And again, I support incentive-based pay packages for CEOs. And the pay package sounds astronomical, but so are the milestones to get it. I mean, he's got a double market cap just even to get the first milestone. And I understand what they're doing. They want to get Musk 100% focused on Tesla. But the big question is still, how do you get Tesla back on a growth trajectory? It's got 2 years of flat growth here. They've got to get permitting for full self-driving in San Francisco and Austin, first things first. And then they've got to start selling humanoid robots. Musk has said they're going to shoot for 5,000 this year. That feels a little aspirational, but whatever it takes to kick the company into a higher gear, that's what shareholders should be looking for.
Steve, section or page A51 of the proxy, if I bring it up and you allow me to read it to you, the board receives assurances that Musk's involvement with the political sphere would wind down in a timely manner. One of the reasons that Caroline and I wanted to get you on the show is you did sit on Tesla's board for 3 years. You've been a controller of a state in California. How do those provisions come about? How do you interpret it?
Well, look, I think there's two things going on. Musk is saying, look, I want to be wildly incentivized if I do great things for shareholders. And I think shareholders, I think the board is saying, okay, fair enough. We're going to have to set awfully high standards. And that's not just going to be performance standards for selling more cars, for getting full self-driving and really showing the promise of AI in Tesla. And he's also going to have to really make the humanoid robot proposition real. I think if he does those things, he deserves a big pay package. But you touched on something else. The board clearly wants to see him focused on Tesla, and that probably means less politics, less focus on some of the other properties that are already doing extraordinarily well. So you can see why the board constructed it as they did. Let's see if shareholders support it. I have a hunch they will. And the big question is, it's going to be game on for Tesla. Can he hit these wildly audacious goals?
Within the operational goals, there is the target to produce 1 million humanoid Optimus robots. There is to build the robotaxi fleet to 1 million vehicles. But there is still a goal in there, Steve, to produce and sell and deliver 20 million electric vehicles to consumers. In other words, Tesla's historic bread and butter. That seems to contradict like the big picture vision for AI. You know, in a world where Tesla operates a proprietary ride-hailing app, he's still being asked to deliver tens of millions of vehicles directly to the consumer.
And you put your finger on the linchpin here, as always. What I love about this is what I suspect, and I don't know, but what I suspect Elon wants is an audacious big target because that's what gets his adrenaline going. Great. What I think the board is pushing for is, hey, don't forget, you've got to sell a lot of electric and autonomous vehicles, and competition's coming. So let's come back to the real world for a minute. Volkswagen unveiling a $29,000 ID2 next week in Europe. That's going to be hugely competitive. BYD Europe sales up 225%, while Tesla Europe sales are down 50%. Cybertruck sales down 50%. Now Ford's coming out with a $30,000 competing truck. And in China, competition's huge. And now not only is BYD rocketing up with more EV sales, but Geely, Starwish, a new $10,000 EV in China, biggest selling car in China. There's competition coming from all sides. And I think this is the board's way of saying, hey, don't forget, you still have to sell a lot of cars if you want anywhere near this size of bonus. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, Steve, so if you're on the board and as an investor, how does he turn around the bread and butter, the selling of cars?
Well, again, we've talked about that one a lot. Everybody is going to be coming out with a $20,000 to $25,000 car. Tesla has been late in getting that to market. They need to do it. Here's a point that people really need to get their arms around. We're reaching cost parity for EVs this year. Now, people are going to say, hey, what's going to happen in Q3? I can tell you, in Q3, EV sales are going to be up in the US because everybody's rushing to still get that last government credit, and then it's going to go away. A lot of people say, me, oh my, is that going to crush the industry? Absolutely not. What you should understand, the average EV price dropped $14,000 in 2025. EVs are soon going to be cheaper than internal combustion vehicles, and that's going to continue for the rest of our lives.
Steve, later in the program, we're going to go deep on the shareholder-initiated proposal for Tesla to invest in XAI. But if you look across the broad package, would you please kindly assign what chances you give that shareholders will vote in favor of all of those provisions at the November annual meeting?
Well, look, it's hard to know. It's the biggest pay package in history by far. But again, they've attached the goals to such high numbers where they're trying to create a win-win. I have a hunch that shareholders are going to support this. I think what they really want to see is the two things you've pointed out. One, Musk dropping back from politics and focusing fully on Tesla. And two, getting back to the reality of selling more cars, getting full regulatory approval for autonomous driving. Those are the goals ahead of him. I hope he hits them.
Well, you know what? We hope he gets them too. And you know what? He deserves everything. This man works so hard, and we're so lucky to know him and be in his presence. So let's take a look here. Sorry, let's go to the next slide here. So why are we doing a vote now? So first of all, let's take you back in time a little bit. So there was a similar huge pay package from 2018 worth about $56 billion, and it was approved by shareholders back then. But then what happened is in 2024, not that long ago, a court said it was unfair that because the board was too close to Musk, so they had to basically scrap the deal. And then now, take us fast forward now to 2025, they're asking shareholders to approve a new, even bigger one to keep Elon motivated and in charge. And so we definitely need to keep him on board. So how is this process going to work? Well, we have tomorrow the shareholder meeting. It's the annual event tomorrow, November 6, 2025. And obviously all the shareholders are voting in yes or no. And the deadline is tonight, midnight tonight. And the owners are voting yes or no. And Elon actually owns about 16% of the shares. So his vote is actually a really big chunk. If everything passes at the shareholder meeting, then he will get the shares over 10 years, but only if he meets those tough goals. And believe me, they're really tough. And you heard what was mentioned in Bloomberg, what he's got to do. So some other things too, like what if it fails? Well, the board warns Elon might quit or focus less on Tesla, which could hurt the stock price. But Musk has said he would stay involved. So meaning what if it fails, meaning the deal doesn't work out. The goal to earn Musk only if it only gets paid, sorry about that, if Tesla succeeds. And so key targets will be to grow Tesla's value, market cap from 1.4 trillion to 8.5 trillion. Obviously sell more cars, make 1 million robo-taxis, and deploy 1 million humanoid robots. And also hit other sales or profits. And so why does this all matter? Because for Tesla, keeping Musk will drive wild ideas like robo taxis that can make the company explode in value. And if you heard recently when he was on Joe Rogan, kind of hinted maybe a potential flying car per se. So he has things in the pipeline that we have no idea about. And he also did mention he's going to blow our minds away, and do not question what he says that, because he is so creative. And so for shareholders, what it means for us is more shares for Musk means less for everyone else, dilution. But if he succeeds, then what it means for us, the shares go up, they rise. So it will add to his $477 billion fortune, but ties his wealth to Tesla's success. So in short, shareholders will decide if he will get $1 trillion carrots to chase, per se, Tesla's moonshoot goals, or risk him walking away. And all this is happening tomorrow. And here he is dancing, dancing, dancing. And it's a happy dance. And I hope that tomorrow will be a happy, fabulous day, not just for Elon, but for all Tesla shareholders. Long Tesla, loving Tesla, bullish Tesla. I love everything Tesla. And I think I'm going to have to look into getting a future Tesla car. I do love this FSD feature. So good luck to all the bulls tomorrow. Good luck, Elon. We are hoping the pay gets package gets approved for you. And we look forward to more success with you. You've done so many great things for everyone, and all the shareholders that I know absolutely love you. Have a great night, everyone. And see you tomorrow. Bye for now.